Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest automation builds called the FE SM180. This is a 90s German police vehicle with the old white and green livery and the police eye lettering. The styling is partially based on the Opel Vectra A and C models and the Opel Astra Caravan. What's cool about this car is that I've managed to make the light bar work in BeamNG. It took me about a couple hours to figure this out, but at least it works as intended. Anyways, I'll explain some of the details about this vehicle. It has a lap time of 1 minute 41 seconds 67 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track and 2 minutes 46 seconds 58 milliseconds at the automation track. It has a top speed of 121 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 11.8 seconds. This vehicle is powered by a 1.8 liter inline-4 engine that produces 116.7 horsepower and 116.7 pounds-feet of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 21.5 miles per gallon and weighs 2,697.7 pounds, which equals to 1,223.7 kilograms. And now, let's go over the specs of this vehicle. In terms of how I made the FE SM180, the panel material will be made out of partial aluminum with a monocoque chassis made out of regular steel. And we're using a front transverse engine placement, and the front suspension we're reusing is a double wishbone, and the rear suspension we're using is a semi-trailing arm. For the engine, it's an inline-4 engine made out of cast iron with the bore set to 81 millimeters, and the stroke will be set at an 87.3 millimeters, which gets the engine size to 1,799 cubic centimeters, and rounded up will equal to 1.8 liters. And we're using some dual overhead cam 4 valves made out of aluminum. For the balance shaft, we're going to be implementing a balance shaft to reduce the chance of the crankshaft and everything from exploding due to high RPM and torque stress issues. And for the crank and cowl rods, pretty basic, just a cast iron crankshaft, cast cowl rods, and for the pistons, this is to increase performance just a tad and to really improve emissions as we're using hyperutitic cast pistons. For the compression, it is set at a 10.1 to 1 ratio at above normal setting, with the cam profile set to a 41, just one click up from above the default setting at a 40. With the springs and lifters set, soften this up a bit to a 34. For the fuel system, we're using a multi-point electronic fuel injector with a single throttle setup with a standard mid intake running on regular fuel, with the fuel mixture set to a 14.2, the ignition timing set to a 59, and lastly for the RPM limit is set at a 6,300 RPM. And finally for the exhaust everything, so we're using some short cast headers with a single exhaust, the exhaust diameter set to a 50.8 millimeters, which equals to 2 inches. And a cat converter we're using is a 3-way cat, straight through first muffler, and a second muffler is a reversed flow. And real briefly, let's give you here what this engine sounds like with the same horsepower and same torque rating, which is kind of interesting in how I built this engine. So let's give you here of it right now. Pretty much standard issue for any German car made back in the 90s, just a good old 4-cylinder, put in the car, and call it a police car. So we're halfway there of explaining the specs of this vehicle. So for the drive type, we're going to be using a front-wheel drive setup with an automatic 4-speed with the top speed set to 121 miles per hour. It can go up to 127, but I'd say 120, 121 miles an hour is fairly legitimate for this type of vehicle, which is basically a freaking wagon up in here, folks. For the tires, we're using some radial hard long life tires to the front and rear tire with each set to 205 millimeters front and back, running onto some 16-inch steel rims. With the brakes, they're pretty much realistic for this type of vehicle, or pretty much most vehicles at this time period. So the front brake is a solid disc 3 piston with its size set to 315 millimeters, and the back we're using is a drum single shoe with its size set to 260 millimeters. And aerodynamics, so for the under tray, semi-clad under tray, you really can't see this because I didn't put the time and effort to do so. And the brake airflow set to a 15, which is pretty much common for such vehicles. So for the interior of the vehicle, it's pretty much just just standard issue for this type of vehicle. Nothing been modified, nothing been heavily changed, so we got ourselves a 5-seater, 2 in the front as you can see right here, and 3 in the back with a standard interior and a standard cassette player. And the driver aids, all that good stuff, so we got ourselves some hydraulic power steering with ABS brakes in standard issue 1990 standard safety standards. And finally for suspension, we're going to be using some progressive springs of gas mounted dampers and passive sway bars, running on a modified normal preset. All I did was increase the spring stiffness, damper stiffness, and jump the ride height by like 9mm compared to what it's set to with the normal preset. Despite only having 3 problems with this vehicle according to automation, such as the low load capacity, the rear tires being quite light, and some clearance issues with the engine, let's jump on over to BeamNG.drive and chase some bad guys down. So here we are at the bottom map of the German Autobahn, and we got the traffic set up, and we got this here vehicle in place. And just a quick demonstration, I will demonstrate the light bar that I got set up out here. So you can kind of see up in here, we got a couple beacons set up with the vehicle as so. So for these light bars right here, these 2 beacons, I did use this. I sourced this from, I think, the fictional livery pack mod for police vehicles. And I used these beacons and placed them on this vehicle and did some J-beam editing, node editing, all that good stuff to anchor this bad boy down. So if I hit the I button, the beacon lights do work for both sides. And if I hit again, we got ourselves a custom siren I made based on the RTK4 Stratthorn, I think it's how you pronounce that. The Stratthorn and the Landhorn, which I got set up is just the Stratthorn, basically the ones you always hear in Germany. So yeah, instead of having like a police vehicle saying, hey look, I got a police vehicle, but the light bar don't work. This guy, this light bar, does work, unlike all the many others that do have police vehicles in the automation BeamNG ecosystem. So right now, let's do our base performance test with this here traffic. So the first one we'll be doing is the 0 to 62 acceleration test, followed by that will be the 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly, a top speed run to guarantee with this German police vehicle made in the 90s, it should reach its top speed without any problems. About 120 horsepower, 120 pound-feet of torque right on that range, it should make it no problem. So let's get ready to hit the gas pedal with my wheel setup as soon as this car gets out of its way after this bastion. So 3, 2, well, just go right now. Go right now. Cut off the little pedestal bar right here, so straight away we go. First gear into second gear. Around 40 miles an hour. It's getting to the far left way because we may be passing up ahead, who knows. So 0 to 62 in 11.02 seconds of 592.37 feet. So let's see how this works out. So let's match up to 62. Let's not use the little cruise control. So we'll match up to 62 and brake. Hard on the brakes with my T150 wheel. 62 to 0 in 3 seconds exactly of 124.14 feet. I think that's the first time that I got the exact, like, down to the second time in terms of, like, my braking and everything. Normally it's, like, within the tens, within the hundreds, but not to the exact second. That's interesting. So for a top speed run already in effect, we're gonna get a bare 0 to 62. A tad better, just under 11 seconds. So instead of an 11.02, we got a 10.94. Not too bad. So we're going 90 miles an hour, weaving through traffic as so. I should have set up my wheel better so I can get like a hood view or something like that rather than driving and chase camera with the wheel set up as so. Normally it's acceptable if you're a controller user, which I used to be, but now I'm a wheel user, so, well, I can live with it right now. We're not like racing or nothing like that, like I do in Gran Turismo, all that good stuff. So top speed, 119 the airspeed, 120 airspeed, and redline. Alright, now we're redlining. We reach its top speed. Give me somewhere to crash this out to. Let's just crash this car right here. Camera as is, everything as is. Go. I'm not holding on to the wheel. Let's just keep going as the force feedback of my steering wheel goes mentally insane as we crash out as so at that deadly rear end crash. You have exchanged insurance information. Am I at fault or no? So for the aftermath destruction of this vehicle, as the cars keep honking their horns as they block the middle lane, use the passing lane, buddy. So aftermath destruction of this vehicle, the rear is okay as so because we hit the rear, we didn't hit the right side, we did hit the front side, and we didn't hit the left side. So only front end damage, but it's not really that drivable, I think. Alright, for this part of the video, we got this ETKI series, the ETK 3000 up here. We got themselves pulled over. We're gonna keep the traffic as so let's get out our vehicle and see what's up. So I'll walk into the vehicle, and all of a sudden, wait, I gotta set the parameters to frickin' flee for this guy. Let's say 6 through it. I'm on foot. Let's flee from me, my car. Flee from me. Get the hell out of here. Get back in my car. Oh my god, he's coming back in. Have to get in, and then just take off. I'm gonna get a a different view going here. Alright, we got the hood view that we got going right now. Let's hide the camera as soon as I turn on the sirens up in here. So going 60 miles an hour. We're traveling down the highway as so, or the Autobahn to be specific. So siren as so, hide the UI, and that's Windows. Alright, hopefully I won't screw this up again. So we got the vehicle right dead in my sights. He's on the 3rd lane. We got a lot of traffic in the number 3 lane. We gotta let up here because we're now on this guy's ass right now as we travel in the middle lane pursuing this vehicle. After I get done with this vehicle, whoa, let me see if I got my original police car I made for the Automation BeamNG video made back in like 2020 on my Mr. Jacket 000 days called the Bruckell Powercell PPK, which that vehicle was supposed to be like a Dodge Charger and Ford Taurus type of mix with that type of styling and performance of a police vehicle. I did check the files, everything. I should have this vehicle installed. Once we pit this vehicle or he crashes out or he gives up or something like that, we'll chase that vehicle along this stretch of road. So we're traveling over 110 miles an hour as, we'll just keep the UI so we can check our speed. And, alright, he had a guy right there. He just squeezed past the GIGABYTE series as we continue down the Autobahn and brake check. It would be better off for the AI thing on the bottom, like the AI controller, if you had a hopper, if there's like a way to minimize this window so it's not that distracting doing stuff like this. So once we get a clearing, let's get a pivot over. So let's match the speed. Oh damn, he's pulling away from me as I now downshift to a lower gear to catch up to this man. I would say right on here, I would have done a perfect pivot maneuver to swap up our vehicles, but unfortunately, we can't do this. He pulls away. Why is the... Oh, he's losing control. Suspect is losing control. Or he hit the wall. Let's box him in. Box him in. Come at me, bro. Okay, he's out. Let's get a car. Let's apprehend the subject. Hey. Bitte. Get out of the car, man. Get out of the car. Alright, to shut him down, let's shut down my damn siren as I just apprehended this man. Alright, let's shut off my siren because, well, game over. He lost. Shut up, for God's sake. It's police business. Alright, so the suspect crashed out. We didn't have to do a pivot over. He just wiped himself out, it looks like. So, made our job a little bit easier for us. Alright, so I do have the Bruckell Powercell. So this was my first police car I made back in 2020. As you can see here, very basic livery. A frickin' Ford Taurus type of knockoff of the rear end. And that is pretty much the vehicle as so. And of course, the light bar does not work, unfortunately. So let's change this bad boy to flee and flee from me, the top vehicle, and let's just go at the same time so we don't have to beat ourselves. Alright, so the wannabe Dodge Charger Ford Taurus mix is really pulling away. So we're pretty much... Oh, he's gonna cut him off. He's gonna cut him off. We made contact. And like that, the freaking PPK pee-peed himself. Hey, dumbass. I left a space for you. Can you please go straight? How about now? Don't grab her. You're just that adamant. I'm backing up. Come on, man. I'll give you a chance. How about now? You're gonna hit me. And you're gonna go... Yeah, he's gonna go straight finally, rather than backing up into a guardrail repeatedly. Come on, fix your game, man. Fix your AI. So we're damaged the vehicle. Oh man, we've kind of crushed our headlight in the front left portion of the vehicle. So, well, it's drivable. Not that worried about it. And he crashed out. We got a wipe out ahead. We got some tire smoke. We got a car crashed out. What is that? A SBR? And yes, sir. Frickin' VVOC. Doing VVOC things. Let's just park right here. Turn the siren off. And then get a car. Dude, you're under arrest for impersonating police officer. Can you shut up for once, man? Nobody said... What is that? Is that frickin' SBR? The frickin' SBR's damn exhaust is popping. This dude's still skirting his tires. I mean, you're terminally damaged, man. Shut it up, dude. Alright, shut him down. Thank you. And could you shut the actual hell up? You're welcome. So we had a hectic pursuit that we had from the GIGABYTE series that we pretty much had handled, then the frickin' Bruckell PPK, the Powercell right here, pretty much wiped himself out as he couldn't control or handle the German traffic. So for the final part of the video, let's jump on down to Leap of Depth to see how this German police car will handle doing deadly things off of cliffs. So take it to the top of the ramp right now. So here we are with the wannabe police vehicle from the 90s. Let's accelerate right now as I am already steering to the left. God dang it. So here we go. Jump down the ramp, or down the hill, up to the ramp at a speed of 50-ish miles an hour. Well, seems okay. And how will the setup work if I hit the pause button right on time? Let's see here. Alright, I'm on the J key. Engine started oil. So, dead center. Oh my god. Man, this is like the most ghetto setup that I got going here. Let's see how this works out. Just give me a minute. Alright, 100 times slow-mo. Let's just do this for now because I got the wheel stand right up against the freaking wheel stand. I don't need the steering wheel stand is up against the keyboard. Pull keyboard in. Stand by, I'm bad angle. Alright, this will do. Unfreeze physics, 100 times slow-mo, and is the car getting pulled on the thing here? Hold on a second, let's see. Oh, hold on, let's pull this out. Here. Add camera. Okay, janky setup that I got going. It'll change in the future. So the car is flattened up big time as we mow down each and every cliff face as we hit Alt-U. There we go, got it right on time, right on the mark. And skateboard down here. Still going down. The engine's doing some weird ninjutsu stuff as we're up here. And the engine is, of course, disabled because you can see here, no RPMs, none of that whatsoever. Get ready to splash here in 3, 2, 1, splash. That freaking lagged the game, really? Alright, we'll reset the vehicle. Come on, I mean, it kind of sucks to do an update, it resets the vehicle with you to F7, but you kind of got the idea. It was a flat piece of paper, a long-ass piece of paper, and it just scripted the vehicle like that. Alright, so for the final part of the video, we're going to drive straight as fast as I can without flipping the vehicle or none of that stupid stuff. As soon as I do drive at a very high speed before I flip over, I'm going to freeze physics as so, and I'd use the free cam and get myself to like at this little peak here and see if I can land myself in one go back at this crater. So let's get ready to unfreeze the physics, get back in the camera, unfreeze physics, and accelerate as so right now. Accelerate. Let's see how this works out without having to freaking get on the key. 50 miles an hour is okay. Alright, we're midair. Unfreeze the physics. I can't do that anymore, so I gotta drive up the cliff. Well, I'll learn something new now. Alright, here comes the top. Accelerate as so. Boop, 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 boop. Keyboard. Scoreboard. 50-something miles an hour. Let's do everything as is, as so. There goes the roof impact. Oil is still starved of oil. Engine started of oil as so as we did a roof impact. The engine didn't blow up or disable itself for any reason. Another roof impact. Deadly front impact. The friggin' vehicle is still flattened down like it's a almost two-dimensional object or something like that. And smooth impact there. Main engine broken. Good. And we're going off center to the right. The front right tire is deflated for whatever reason because it's not attached to the vehicle no more. And a hard impact now. Damn, that is a hard impact. And I think we're going to be stuck. We're going around high municipal road speeds in the teens, in the 20s. And we're going down, and we're gonna be stuck right about now. We are stuck. That sucks. Well, bring back the no graver, and let's 100% strike this bad boy, and yeet the bitch as so. Please, yeet. Here we go. Yeet it as so. Threw that bad boy over 170 miles an hour. The engine doing some more ninjutsu stuff. We're going up at the top of the crater. Can we come back down, or we're gonna stay up here? The answer is we're gonna stay not up there. But at the bottom, and there goes, looks like a C, and another C as parts of the interior has come down to the crater with me. So as my wheel stops being all metal up in here, let's see what we got with this vehicle. As soon as I get this flattened down for some odd reason, we flatten this down without... Damn, this is becoming quite resilient. So the vehicle... yeah, steel chassis and a partial aluminum body. Damn, this thing, you ain't gonna survive one bit. Even at first impact, you wouldn't have survived at all, man. Imagine this with a BeamNG vehicle, like a standard issue vanilla BeamNG vehicle. It'd probably have some type of impact like this, but god, this is like really bad up in here, folks. Sold out dude of automation at BeamNG.drive with the FE SM180, the Police Eye Edition. For a German police vehicle based in the 1990s, I'd say this is pretty much a good creation with the green and white livery, or white-green livery, whatever you say it, with the hood, the doors, the trunk being all green, with the white police eye lettering, and the RTK4 type of light bar that we got going here, with a working siren. Probably in the future, I'll probably get a tutorial video out on how to actually apply a light bar and place it into an automation vehicle. So you don't have to make like a police vehicle automation and then just like roleplay going wee woo with the lights and sirens, all that good stuff. And actually have a working light bar and siren in BeamNG so cars can get out of the way and to get that true police experience. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. And also check out my social media down in the description below. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.